start a screen share. We're going to do a tab. Those of you that are watching this recording, welcome. As Crystal gets organized with computers, we know those are her BFFs. All right, in 3, 2, 1. Let's see if it actually works. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday, Junior. It is Thursday, coming up on a big holiday weekend. There's probably a lot of you who are like already in vacation mode. You've probably been checked out since last week, honestly. And so congratulations if you've made it this far without a meltdown. Hopefully everybody has at the most one more day solid of work left this week. And then you get to just enjoy Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And one thing I do want to mention for anybody who is watching this before we dive into like the main event tonight, if you're planning on tracking your calories on Saturday and Sunday for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, please do not. Like, just don't. It's not worth it. All right. Start over on Monday. Do the thing. Be mindful. Enjoy your quality time with your friends, family, and whatever, and enjoy the foods. And that's my PSA of the day. So, okay, everybody, welcome. I'm so excited to have a special guest here tonight. This is a friend of mine who I just really respect the shit out of. And so I'm so excited that she was gracious enough to join me tonight. So everybody welcome Ms. Liesl.
Hey, everybody.
Yes. We'll see. We'll see if anybody drops in the comments or anything. You guys, if you are watching this live, please like it, love it, drop a comment, let us know you're here. And if you're not here, well, you're missing out, but hopefully you're catching the replay at the very least, and you can just pick up on some great tidbits from Liesl. She is definitely someone you want to learn from, you want in your corner. I do have to say, she's been with us since the beginning of June, and in that time, like, she is just one of the biggest cheerleaders on our team. Even if she's not shouting it from the rooftops, she is so very involved in the community and like helping support others and letting them know that she's somebody who struggles too, but she just picks it up and does the damn thing. So anyways, Liesl, welcome. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm actually at my mom's house tonight. We got in the car and left a little earlier than expected because of the storm. I'm sure you're all, it's supposed to be, sweeping the country. So unless you're in California, it's probably affecting you. So
right. Those jerks. So tell us where you're located then.
I am in right now, Columbus, Ohio. My husband and I live in Cleveland, Ohio, which is 2 hours north on Lake Erie.
Okay, awesome. Yep. Well, I'm in Denver and it's chilly. I think the thing that I reshared on my stories today is that it was the coldest recorded temperature in Denver since 1990. So I was 4 years old that year.
Oh my goodness. Well, I was living in Greeley, Colorado at that time. Yeah, so I'm a Colorado born. So
look at you. And then you left us. One of these days, maybe we can have you back at the very least for a visit. So, okay, well, stay warm, enjoy Ohio. But for now, and that was, you mentioned you're at your mom's. So you guys, I have to preface this with the fact that like Liesl and I are the same person, we've decided. So many commonalities. We both have mom's name Susan. We both have husband's name Kyle. We both have like what appears to be like different last names than our husbands. Just teaching backgrounds, like just really weird stuff. And so I've just had
it is crazy. Yeah, we do have a lot in common. It's great.
And it's just these funny little things. But anyways, I want to try to keep this as brief as possible because I want Liesl to go enjoy her family time. And I'm going to go sit on my couch and like chill out. But let's chat about the journey, my friend. So a few questions for you. Of course, feel free to go off on a tangent, as you know I do. Don't hold anything back. So basically, first off, I want to know kind of, where were you prior to starting with us here at Carbs and Consistency? I know you signed up with us back in May. We really got the ball rolling beginning of June, end of May. Like, what was the state of you? Like your health, your confidence, the challenges and frustrations that you were experiencing?
Yeah, so I will go back to my wedding, which was in early December 2021. So about probably 6 months before I started with you. Leading up to your wedding, you have like all of these like desires and expectations about the photos and how you're going to look and what, your dress and all of these things. And So like a year prior to my wedding, I was like doing all of the things to just like I think we did keto, Whole30. I was like cutting my calories like big time during the week. I was doing like really intense Peloton workouts, like 5 to 6 days a week, like just annihilating my body. As much as I love Peloton workouts, but and I was not losing a single pound. And it was like really, I came to like peace with it. But at my wedding, I was self-conscious. I look back and there's about like, there's like a third of the pictures that I'm like, I look great, you know what I mean? And I love that picture. But like there were a lot of pictures from the wedding where I was like, man, I just like don't really recognize myself. Like this is not how I envision myself looking. And I also was like, I wasn't feeling great either. So wedding in December, January, I went through like kind of a little bit of a health scare with I have uterine fibroids. So and my hormones, like I didn't have them tested or anything like that. Like I didn't know exactly what was going on, but I had just kind of a really scary experience because of them. And I think that was a big sort of sign to me of like something's not right with my body. Like it's just, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, I couldn't lose weight, but I was exercising constantly. And I was really like confidence wise pretty low. I remember one night my husband was like, do you want to get ice cream? And I had like a breakdown. I was like, I can't get ice cream. Like, I was like, stop asking me if I want dessert. Like I can't eat dessert. It was bad. And so actually I was in May, ended up going on vacation with my mom and had just like some time to like relax and read a book. And my cousin is Michelle Norris. Many of you probably know her. She is one of Crystal's clients as well. And I just had kind of watched her. We live obviously long distance, but I had just watched her journey, and she was like brave enough to really share it on social, which I hope to be able to do eventually. But she was like, I had never seen her not only like look so amazing, but also she just exuded this joy and happiness that I hadn't seen in her in a long time. And so I knew, because she was sharing about you, that she was working with you. So I started following you on social, and just to get an idea of like who you were and what you were about. And like the way that you talked about health and fitness was very different than I had ever heard before. Now that I've gotten to know you, it's like I'm seeing more and more, like obviously the algorithms are ruling our lives, but like, I'm seeing more and more of like, salient advice and like good advice on fitness, but that was not what I was seeing prior to following you. And so I reached out to her and was like, I'm thinking about doing this. So that was what made me pull the trigger, was like her kind of testimony about her experience with you, what I could just, physically see myself. And I was just at a point where I was like, I gotta like make an investment and learn, because I've tried, like in my mind, I had tried everything. And I didn't know what to do, and it wasn't working. So
yeah. You touched upon so many of the things that I do try to speak towards in my content, because I feel like it's things that we've all tried. We've tried it all before. We've done the keto, we've done the working out 7 days a week and like kicking our own ass. And you said, I'm not losing any weight, but I'm guessing you also noticed, just because I'm not losing weight, also my body's not changing either, right? Because like I think that's one of the things that I like to speak to in my messages, that you might not lose weight, but you should at least like feel better or look better in your body.
Oh my gosh,
It
yeah.
doesn't always need to be about the weight loss, right? So I think
Yeah.
that's important too.
Yeah, and like I touched a little bit on like the hormone stuff, and the reason I say that is because, and maybe TMI for people on this, but I'm just going to be honest because there may be other people that are experiencing similar things. But like at night, I would sleep through the night, but I would like sweat through my pajamas, and like, you know what I mean? Like I was sweating like crazy at night, which
Mm-hmm.
was weird. Like to me, I was like, what is happening? And trying to read up on it. And then when I finally went to the doctor through that whole episode in January, the doctor said like that's kind of your body's reaction to your hormones just being kind of off and off balance. And yeah, and then just, I don't know, like energy wise really low, just regular and healthy bowel movements, like
Yeah.
that was not like something that I was experiencing. I thought it was like normal, or like, oh, this is just runs in my family, which it definitely does, but it doesn't have to,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so, yeah, and like it's great to say that like all of those things are completely gone now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gone. Like, yeah, it's
It's
amazing.
so cool. And I
Yeah.
love that you touched on that because that's a conversation Michelle and I have definitely had time and time again. I have Lynn over here commenting, "Yay, Archer family!" Yes, Lynn's with us as well.
Hey,
But, but that's one of the conversations Michelle and I have had. We're like, "Oh, it's just my genetics. Oh, it's just in my family," and it's like it doesn't have to be like you said, right? Like we have the ability to like change this to course correct these things, and I think it's important to know also like just the generation that you and Michelle are in, where yes, our team, we do work with other women in your family who are in a different age demographic, right? Like perhaps closer to my mother's age. And
right,
so we look at people like me and you and Michelle who are similar age. We've tried all of these fad diets and whatnot, but so have our moms and
I
our
know.
aunts and those
Yeah,
women in the generation above us. And so for them, it might take longer for them to make changes because they've done this for decades potentially. And we may have too, but obviously probably not as many decades, right? So it's tough because we look at it as, well, it just runs in my family. Well, it's because of the habits and the practices that have just like kind of been accepted in our families, right? Which I'm
right,
no forward to as well. So
right,
yeah,
totally.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, and so like you said, you did the Peloton. So you have the bike and the treadmill, correct?
Yes, I do.
Yes, me too. Although I'm getting rid of my treadmill because it doesn't work anymore. So I'm glad to get my money back for that. But, and like you said, Peloton's great, right? I enjoy my Peloton. I own them, right? So I love having a piece of exercise equipment I can do at home and whatnot. But like, what did those workouts look like for you that you were like kicking your ass? What did you strive to do as sort of your workout routine?
So like at first it was we just had the bike. So mainly I was doing like, I was doing really intense like hit cardio bike workouts for like 45 minutes, maybe even an hour, like a 60-minute ride. And I would just be like, I would literally lay on the floor afterwards, just in a puddle of sweat, like just so wrung out. I did like towards, closer to when we started working together, I tried their like strength training, but their strength training is like, I mean, gosh, if you are not doing anything, like by all means, pick up Peloton, like,
Yep. Yep.
do something. But like even the strength training workouts were really cardio based, right? Like lighter weights, and you're not resting, and you're doing kind of like cardio in between the sets. Yeah, so I was doing that. And they have like boot camps too, which is like
Yeah.
really intense stuff.
Yeah.
Where you're like biking or you're running, and then you get off and you do weights, and then you run again. And
Okay.
I mean, and I love a good intense workout like that every
Yeah.
once in a while. But yeah, but yeah,
But to be doing it like every day and not seeing
and
like
not,
the result that you were wanting,
yeah,
it's a little bit defeating, right? For sure.
totally, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
was
how?
like, what am I doing wrong? You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
exactly.
yeah,
No. What am I supposed to be like really not resting ever? What's happening? So yeah. Okay. So
Totally.
how would you say that that differs from what you did then to what we do now for your workouts?
It's like night and day different in a lot of ways. I mean, so I did join a gym I think maybe we did like 2 months together where I was like doing at home. I mean, we have dumbbells at home, but um I quickly learned like, wow, I'm like pretty strong.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
remember
so
telling you, what, you have like 30-pound dumbbells, I think is like your heaviest. And
yeah,
I was like, okay, just know like we're gonna try this first month or so. And I'm gonna also put you through this strength phase, and you're probably gonna outgrow those weights pretty quickly. Like 30-pound
yeah,
dumbbells, well, it's not gonna take you too far. So
yeah. Yeah, and it didn't. And so I did join a Planet Fitness that's like down the street. And actually, like it during the summer when it was warm, it was great because I had like a mile walk. I would walk there and walk back. So I'd get in a ton of steps on the way back. But winter's a little different. Is go and walk on their treadmill beforehand. But
yeah.
yeah, so I do 3 kind of like full body strength workouts a week. I go Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the morning. That's just like what works for me. And then otherwise I just make sure that I get my steps in on the other days. And that's it. Yeah. It's great. It honestly is like such a great, like, you feel after the strength workouts, I just feel really great, like really powerful, strong, like not beat up. Not like I could, it was like after the Peloton workouts, I'd feel like number one, I needed to eat everything in my
Mm,
refrigerator and then like take a nap. You know
mm,
what I mean?
yeah.
Whereas with
When you're like going keto or something, like, how can I eat all the things?
yeah, exactly. So yeah, it looks very different. But it's like I'm actually seeing results from it,
Yeah,
which
we
is
love that.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we love doing things that actually like produce a result. So
Yeah.
very
It
cool,
was
very cool.
crazy because at first, the resting in between sets was like
Uh-huh.
so hard for me. I'm like, really? Like, do I have to wait 90 seconds? Come on,
Yeah.
Now
Mhm.
I'm just like, I love it. I love the rest moments.
Yeah, yeah, I earned that rest, right? Like I get to now make sure I can go just as heavy, maybe even heavier. And yeah, it just
Yeah.
feels good to feel strong, I feel like. And I feel like you're always so you're always echoing that in your check-ins and whatnot, right? Like I feel strong, I feel confident in the gym, like, and I think that that's important for people to understand is like you were working out at home, right? Like we don't really have to feel confident working out at home because we don't feel like we have to impress anybody. And hopefully you found that confidence in the gym and you still realize I don't have to impress anybody. Like everybody here
Yeah.
is doing their own damn thing. They don't care what I'm
Yeah.
doing, but
Totally.
I'm impressing myself. Look at what I can do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's nice. And I mean, there's like regulars that go in that I've gotten to know, and like everybody goes in, and it's like, it's intimidating at first, I think, to walk into a gym, but I don't know. I just put in my headphones and like nobody's paying attention to you. Everyone's paying attention to whatever they're doing. And I feel like, I don't know, going in the morning, you get like serious people, like
Yeah.
people who are going at 6 a.m. when I go, like they're there to like get shit done and get out of there. So it's it's been really good.
Yeah,
So
morning workout people are my fave. They're the most consistent. They're the ones that are gonna like do it no matter what for the most part. Whereas when you do it later on, it's like easier to put off. Like, oh, actually, I should probably go do X, Y, or Z. Or oh, somebody invited me to happy hour. Just easier to delay it or skip it when you're doing it later on in the day. So
right,
you found
totally.
your little group of people. I love that, and it kind of helps you to probably stay more consistent. So
Yeah,
beautiful.
definitely. Yeah.
Girl. So, well, when you came to us, like you had the health concerns, you'd already made it past your wedding. So really it was like, well, great. I don't really care how I look at my wedding pictures or anything. So ultimately, like what was the big goal that you were hoping for that we could sort of maybe fix by joining on to our team?
Gosh, it's hard to like sum it up as like one thing because you're right. Like I wasn't working towards a date and time or anything like that. But I think I had just reached a point where number one, I knew like I wasn't doing something right because I didn't feel good in my body. And then looking at myself in photographs, like I would cringe. Like
Mm.
it sounds so horrible, but like I just wanted when I think I wrote this in my like application. I'm like, I just want to take a pic, like I just want someone to like, hey, take a picture with me, and for me to be like, yeah, and take a picture and look at it and be like, yes, like that is the Liesl that I know and that I want to be.
Mm.
And I did not feel that way. And I guess like that was the most like tangible way of saying like that's what I want, And I think that that feeling of confidence, of like self acceptance and like pride
Yeah.
permeates into like other areas of my life too, that I didn't even realize. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's huge. And I think that's a big deal to a lot of us in this day and age when like everything is documented in photos on social media, right?
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook, like there's no hiding from the camera anymore. And so,
Yeah.
to not have to be that person that's like, no, delete that picture, like constantly, like feels really fucking good to just be like, oh yeah, they took that picture of us. Don't we look great? Like you're a part of the we. You get to actually be proud of that human in those photos because you've done the work, right? Like, because you know that you take pride, like you said, and like how you're actually taking care of your body.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a lot of people who are just naturally blessed and they have great genetics and they look gorgeous without makeup and they look like they have abs even though they've never done a setup in their life or something. Like, we love those people,
Yeah,
amazing,
good
but
for
we
you.
yes, for those of us that have gone through those stages where we truly do know how it feels like to be telling people like, please delete that, or oh my god, why did they post that, to be cringing to look at yourself, whether it's in a reflection or a picture, it fucking sucks. So like, why not just do something about it?
Yeah, and I think too, just that feeling of just general health wise, like I know something's off because you know what I mean? Like I'm doing all of the things that I'm supposed to do, but not, you know what I mean? I wasn't going the right direction.
Right.
And from a physical standpoint, and that had to do with, symptoms, like physical symptoms I was feeling as well.
For
So
sure. Well, so, we have been together for like 7 months. For those who don't know kind of what coaching with us looks like, typically we go through a phase of like, hey, we're just going to like repair your metabolism, right? So oftentimes that looks like telling people to eat more food, which they're very scared of, especially women. They cringe at the idea because they're like, what? No, I'm trying to lose weight. Don't tell me to eat more food. So I think that's always a big hurdle for a lot of people mentally to overcome. So, we go into metabolic restoration. Then it's like, okay, we're going to kind of see if you're ready to go into an intentional weight loss phase. What does the experience look like for you, from your understanding at least, when we went through that metabolic restoration phase? And then did we go into an intentional weight loss phase yet? Let's talk about that.
yeah, no, we haven't. um,
Well,
on the weight,
7
not on
months
the weight.
later, and we haven't tried to lose weight, you guys.
Yeah, no, it was honestly kind of like in my mind, I was like, what is this sorcery that is happening? um, yeah, no, I mean, I think we started out, I was at like 1700 around that. And then we just picked it up, to now I'm like just under 2300 calories. Like my goal is like a little over 2200, but right now I'm like closer to 2300, I think
Sweet.
regularly. Yeah. And I mean, like I said, I had reached a point where I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just going to trust this process and do it. And I didn't have a problem eating more food. That was great. But it was crazy to me to see. I know everyone doesn't experience this, but I did experience some pretty significant weight loss over the first like probably 3 or 4 months of the reverse diet. and metabolic restoration phase. So yeah, I went from 185 down to at one point I was weighing like 172. Right now I'm like just leveled out or nice 175.
Enjoying
And but
all these.
yeah, yeah, enjoying a lot of food, and I love what I get to eat every day. It's pretty awesome. I don't really think twice about, like, I plan ahead a lot. My husband's doing this work as well, and so it's been helpful to have my like partner do this with me. But yeah, and we prep, but we're not like crazy preppers. We don't like prep every meal. But we prep like big things at the beginning of the week that we eat throughout the whole week. So like our breakfasts and lunches look the same every day. And then we'll switch it up a couple of nights for dinners and have like one dinner for 2 nights and then another dinner for 2 nights. And yeah, so it was really encouraging. And I not everybody experiences this, I know. So it was very encouraging for me to have the sort of initial weight loss happening. But also with the strength training, I think that really, from like a how I was starting to look different, was like huge as well. Cause I was losing inches, starting to see like muscle definition as well and stuff like that. So it's been really encouraging. And yeah, we're gonna do a fat loss phase in January. So we'll see. We'll see. And but I told my husband, I'm like, I, you know, I care about the fat loss phase, but I'm not like, I don't have a number in mind. I just feel so good about the path that I'm on and the tools that I've gained, and like what I've learned through this whole program, that I'm like, I don't care how much I lose or don't lose during this fat loss phase. Like, I know that I'm going in the right direction.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like just knowing that if you say you're in it for the right reasons, then you're going to get some sort of a desirable outcome, like no matter what. And you
Yeah.
don't know any specifics because you can't predict that. You can't control that, right? All you can control is your controllables. And so I know you're going to be doing the same things you've been doing this whole time. You're going to get your steps, your workouts, you'll do some food prep, you'll make sure that you're not going crazy on the weekends. Like, I think that's something important too, is
Yeah.
understanding that you had to like change your life. You had to change kind of what things looked like. But it didn't mean that now you have no life, right? Like, you guys are going out on date
Yeah.
night, you're going out on like social engagements, you're enjoying the holidays. You didn't have to give everything up, but yeah, like shit had to change because clearly something wasn't going right over there.
Yeah, I do have to say, that's a good point you brought up, because I haven't mentioned this. It was kind of a big change. Like, Kyle and I were, um, I would restrict all week, and then the weekend would hit, and we would day drink all day on Saturday. We'd go to brunch, mimosas, and then just like beers for the game or whatever we're doing. And so that is one thing that I have cut back on a lot, which is probably, a huge part of the success as well, was like cutting out quite a lot of alcohol. I don't not drink. I drink every week still. I have a drink every week, but it's way less than what I was doing previously. And I think part of it was like sort of that binge restrict mentality, which kind of caused that. So I would restrict so much during the week and felt like I just deserved it on the weekends. And so that looks very different. And that definitely was a big change for me and my husband. But it's been it was like, a couple of months of just sort of uncomfortable conversations, and like, and then it was like he was seeing the benefit that I was having, and he was totally on board. And so that's been awesome. And I think probably a big part of it too is just like, I think alcohol was having a major negative effect on my body. So yeah, but we do go on date nights and every week. And we go out to a restaurant and enjoy good food, and I don't track it. Yeah, I feel very free
Yeah.
in everything I'm doing. So
Ooh, I love that. I love that. And you touched on a couple of like key factors there. One being the alcohol, like it's just not doing you any favors. And I could go
yeah,
off for hours on how detrimental alcohol is to anybody who has a weight loss goal, but also the importance of like support, right? Because yeah, you have me, yeah, you've got our community, but like you don't live with us. The person that you live with, the people that you're surrounded with the most in your day-to-day environment, like they need to be on board in supporting you in one way or another. And that's not to say that, if he was like, not maybe eating the same way as you or whatever, but if he chose to be like, no, babe, like I'm going to go out and get drunk every weekend because that's what I do. And then decided that like your health and your guys' relationship together and the way that it was evolving, if he wasn't ready for that, then that would have made things a hell of a lot tougher. So I'm
yeah,
just so happy that you had that support from him.
yeah, me too. Yeah, definitely. And when I say it was like hard, it's more just like for both of us, just like
Yeah,
a lifestyle change.
totally.
It's like, what do we do on the weekends now if we're not going to brunch and you know what I mean, into the next bar, into the next bar? It's like there's a lot you can do.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure. And I've said that a few
There's a lot
times.
more time actually. So
Yeah, exactly. And like, if literally the only thing that you can think of to go do with friends and family and stuff is like go out to eat or go out to drink, like you're fucking boring. Go find a hobby. Get some better people in your life that want to do more than just that. So I'm glad that you guys have figured out some fun things to do. Because I get it, right? Like I've said on here multiple times, I used to be an alcoholic. My husband and I, we met in a bar, right? I was a bartender. I was drunk. I spilled shots on him. Like, I get it. I've lived that life. It didn't serve me well back then, and
yeah.
it certainly wouldn't do me any favors now. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
definitely.
Cool. Well, I mean, I've kind of loved going through just like all of the big things that we've seen here. But what I want to know basically is, if you were like talking to somebody else and they were considering making these lifestyle changes and they wanted to do it on their own or they wanted to do it with support, what would you suggest to them? And if you, I mean, maybe there are people that can do this on their own and maybe you believe that. But if they wanted to do it with like a team or a community, would you tell them that we would be potentially a good fit for them and why? Like what makes carbs and
Oh,
consistency something you would maybe recommend?
well, first of all, it's been like life changing for me. I mean, truly has been life changing. And um, what I would say is that um, there's incredible one-on-one coaching, which happens between you and myself. But there's also Liz as a part of it has provided like, I mean, I learn a ton from Liz by what she posts in our one-on-one group, like our app, but also on social. Both of you are just a wealth of knowledge and also I think complement each other well on the things that you talk about and are passionate about. So there's that. And then there's the community of people that are a part of your program as well. And I've learned a ton from all of them. Also, and just like encouragement and support that we have as a part of your community is really invaluable, especially, it hasn't been like life has not been like over the last really 3 months, like life for me work wise has been really intense and like really crazy. And having just that structure, that community, that support to lean on and kind of fall back on when it doesn't feel as easy, when I don't want to feel or food prep like on the weekends, but I'm seeing everyone else in the app is like, what are you food prepping today? And taking pictures and sharing recipes. It's like, oh man, I'm going to get on this because I know it's good for me. And so that part aspect of it is really, really, really valuable as well. So, I mean, I guess I would say to people who are considering, trying to do this on their own versus like hire you guys, just don't. Just don't. Why would you do that? And it's like the best money that you could ever spend on yourself.
Mm.
And, I am talking, I guess, not everyone, but like, we don't think twice about spending money on a coffee or on a drink or, whatever it may be.
Amazon, Target, nails.
Getting your nails done, getting my, like me, it's like hair. I spend a lot of money on my hair, and that's the thing. But it's like, if I'm gonna do that, that's great. But like, this is like inside out work. Like, it's like the stuff that's gonna make you like age well, longevity, and then also feel way better in the now as well. And I guess you could try and do it on your own, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Go for it, right? Give it a whirl. But I think
there's things that I have learned from you that I would never have learned on my own. Like that, I wouldn't have the tools that I have now. So.
Yeah. And that was kind of one of the like big things I wanted to sort of like kind of end with, I suppose, is you've really spoken a lot about the learning piece, right? Not that, oh, Crystal told me to do XYZ, so I do XYZ. Oh, Crystal says this is good, so I do this is good. No, like we're literally teaching you how to do this for forever on your own. It's not buy our prepackaged meals. It's not eat this, that, and whatever. It's how does this support you into the rest of your life, right? Like, how can this support you throughout the seasons of life? Because like you mentioned, you've had quite the crazy past few months. You purchased a home, you moved, you had to go through all of the stress of that. We've had work stuff. We've got the end of the year. And, we came to the conclusion together, like, we don't need to be concerned about losing weight right now. And so if you were like going through all of that on your own, I don't know, like where you would be right now today. And I just also wanted to mention everybody, yes, we said we're going into like an intentional fat loss phase in the new year. And it's not because it's the new year. It's because, hey, we've gotten through all of the foundation. We want to see what this looks like. And, I know you've got some events coming up on the calendar, just like I do, where it's like, it might feel good to just like drop a few pounds and feel a little bit more confident and like how I carry myself and stuff. So it's not an arbitrary, oh, it's January 1st, I'm losing weight. It's no, I've gone through this phase. I've learned all of this. And now I want to learn this next piece and how to do it the right way for the first time ever.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, you said it perfectly. I mean, I've just been kind of maintaining this like higher calorie, and it's been awesome because I have not had the capacity stress wise to like do a fat loss phase. You know what I mean? Like I just haven't been in the headspace to be able to commit to it. And now I finally feel like that has leveled out, and I'm ready to give it a whirl. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. No expectations, just a commitment to put in some effort and feel damn good in your body no matter what, because you already do.
Yeah, I do.
Cool.
I definitely do. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I loved this. I could literally talk to you for hours. And I feel like that's kind of the case every time we get on a little chat together. I know I get to talk to you later this next week, though. So I'm going to let you have some family time. But I appreciate you so much, my friend. I'm sure.
Thank you, Crystal. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Yes. I'm so sure that I'm not wrong in saying this, but I think you guys, if you have any questions or anything, Liesl, of course, is in this Facebook group. For those of you that are one-on-one clients and you want to connect with her, obviously she is a wealth of knowledge and experience, and she would be happy to chat with any of you. So, yeah.
Definitely. Thanks, Crystal. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. You have an amazing Christmas, and thanks for watching for those of you that tuned in. And if you're watching the replay, thanks for doing so. Have a great night, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.